In its effort to bring gamers into the enticing but expensive next generation, one of the Xbox 360's biggest assets was the 2006 role-playing Game of the Year, The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion. Although its graphical prowess is easily overshadowed by a PC version with all the high-performance bells and whistles, it's considered a good indication of what the 360 is capable of. 1 year later, the PlayStation 3 is granted admittance into the land of Cyrodiil. Does the extra development time and cell processor deliver a superior experience? Or has this re-released adventure worn out its welcome?
Feel free to browse, friend. It's nice to see a new shopper.
Die, unbeliever!
Track down the spies and kill them. Find out what they know and what they're planning.
The most impressive thing about the narrative in Oblivion is not the plot or performances, which by themselves are good, but rather the amount of choices you have to write your own path through the story.
Very good, follow me. I will take you to the shrine.
There are 4 main factions, with dozens of missions each, a central end-of-the-world quest, and more random errands and favors than you'll ever find without a strategy guide. As an added bonus, you can follow the path of the Knights of the Nine, Oblivion's most recent expansion, whenever you want. The other miniature add-ons, from horse armor to the spell tomes, didn't make the cut, unfortunately, but since you're getting even more to do on the PlayStation 3 at the same price as the 360 iteration, your quest log will be jam-packed for weeks to come.
Greet the new day, brother.
If there's any game that keeps the Xbox 360 cooling fan spinning at full speed, it's Elder Scrolls IV. The game seems to be pushing the newborn system to its limits, so everyone's curiosity was piqued when the game was announced for Microsoft's next-gen rival. Whether you think it's unfair to compare them or not, Oblivion on the PS3 is a much better-looking game. The textures have more definition, the darkened interiors are easy to see, and the loading times are shorter or less frequent, whether you're crossing borders in town or galloping across the countryside. Is that to say that there are no more glitches? Of course not. This is just one of those games that's constantly demanding more and more performance, and you'll notice the graphical seams splitting on more than one occasion. Oblivion is primarily an action-based RPG, but that doesn't mean your available tactics aren't plentiful. You can sneak up on your enemies, blast them with a fireball, nail them between the eyes with an arrow, or impale them with a sharpened blade. PS3 owners should have no problem learning the controls, but those who played the 360 version, switching to the PS3, might stumble a bit making the transition. For some reason, the shoulder buttons have swapped functions. On the Xbox, the right trigger is attack, the left is block, and the right and left bumpers prompt a spell or a grab, respectively. On the 6-axis, anyone pressing R2 expecting to slash their sword will heal themselves instead, and the unnecessary change might take some getting used to. Also, if you haven't liked first-person shooters on either the PS2 or PS3 in the past due to the analog sticks, you'll have the same problems with Oblivion, since the game was obviously built to be played from that perspective. It's hard not to continually sing the praises of Elder Scrolls IV, no matter what platform it appears on. There's just so much to see and do, that your average player will undoubtedly find something to amuse themselves with, and your average role-playing fanatic will probably have a heart attack when they take in the size of the world. But with an adventure that, at its core, demands at least 40 hours of play, it's hard to recommend 360 owners play it again just to see the pretty visuals. PS3 owners, who haven't touched it on the other hand, need to play this incredible game immediately.